Yeah, we're back here for our final match of the night. We're week 4 of Lost Caverns of Ixalan League. We got Steve T making his first feature match appearance this league. Unfortunately, taking some mulligans here. The first hand was more functional than the second, but both were bad. And he's using an alternate account here. That's why it's not his usual Strout. And Chris York is back, looking to close the week 4-1 here. So tell us about his hand.
The man's running hot. He's got two more islands. Well, three more islands in hand. A larcenist, two abrades, and a cave-in.
Okay.
What is Jack working with, aka Steve?
Yeah, Steve appears to be playing some Mardu brew here. I saw Bringer of the Last Gift in his first hand. Um, I believe he may be running an Etherflux Reservoir based on his deck
You would be
picture.
spot on the money. You would be
So,
spot on the money.
looking forward to seeing if we can go off here. In hand, he has a couple lands, including a Restless Vents, which is the black-red tap land. He has Plundering Pirate from this set, and then he's got a couple offset cards. He's got Pen Regon Strongbull, which is a sack outlet for artifacts, and Flick a Coin, which we remember from WoW.
Yeah, Flick a Coin is a really solid card. I'll give it that. Deal damage, draw a card, make a treasure is good.
It just does the things.
It's going to be really good if York develops this Brineborn, but it does not seem he wants to. Guess he wants to save up mana.
Well, that has flash, the Brineborn.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, so it's a 2 mana, 2/1 flash, and then it also has the text of whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, it gets a +1 counter.
Ah.
It was there was a flash standard deck back in the day featuring that card. As one of the...
Was it played in there? I don't remember playing that card because I played that deck.
Okay, I know that a lot of decks played it because that was the whole point of the deck. But yeah, It had that wolf. It had that 4/4 wolf. It had the Brazen Borrower.
That's what I remember. The wolf was good. The wolf was just
Brazen Borrower as well. Yeah. Anyway, the Pendragon Strongbow, I believe you sack it to deal. It deals damage to the opponent and it gets pumped in some way.
For every artifact you sack, it deals 1 damage and it gets 1 stronger to end the turn.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't recall all the text on it. I know that it was it's a sack outlet that deals damage, but it sacks artifacts. So, I mean, looks okay here. What are York's choices for this turn?
Looks like he wants to braid it, but it's not going to
work.
His
Cave-in is already huge. Right? His Cave-in is already huge, though, right?
Yeah, I think he's going to force Steve to sack the treasures if he wants to keep this strong bull alive.
Yeah, well, with no way to kill the larcenist, the treasure is not that useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even getting back a 3/1 is not that useful. So the Kitesell larcenist is a clean 2-for-1 here. But the Strongbow stays alive, so it's not really a 2-for-1.
Yeah, Steve just might not even develop anything else. I mean, York might not develop anything else and just save Cave-in for next.
Yeah, I think York is hoping for an overextension here, which can then lead to a Cave-in killing 3 things.
I know Steve has some pretty good recursion in there, and I mean the treasure map also gives him pretty good late game inevitability.
Yeah, he's drawing the treasure map. Still has the Flick a Coin in hand, so you will not be overextending. Not because he can avoid it, just because he doesn't have anything else. But all right, well, we're gonna flick this thing off into oblivion here.
So now I'm interested to see. So York did draw Abuelo last turn.
Okay, I like that.
Curious if he looks. Oh, he's going to fire off the abrade here. Then
he's just going to bring the treasure map, perhaps.
Yeah, which I like it. And then he did draw a companion for turn, but there's really nothing else he can do this turn.
Which companion? Lutri, Yorion, Luris.
The green-blue one? No, the cartographer's companion.
Oh, that one. Okay, I was confused there for a moment.
Yeah, I keep forgetting we're not a vanilla set this league. Those options are available.
Which companion did he pull? What a lucky guy. I don't think we've seen a companion deck just yet, but maybe in the later weeks.
I don't think so either.
So he's attacking all here. He's happy to trade off for the larcenist. His follow-up is a Scallywag here, which will get him another treasure, and he's got a Twin Shot Sniper in hand, so a nice little card from Kamigawa.
Yeah, he might be able to pull this out. I feel like York is going to be incentivized to fire off this Cave-in here. and that's going to
Yeah,
give
just
Steve
get a
an
2-for-1.
attack with the land.
He's at 7, so he can't really let him play anything else.
So Steve can get in for another 2. The sniper, does that 2 damage to anything? I
It's
always forget.
2 damage to any target, yeah, and you could pay 1 and a
Okay.
red to discard it to do that. Looks
So I
like
mean, as of right now, York's next turn is either looking like Abuelo into. Ooh, just gonna throw it out right away,
he's
huh?
just gonna go for sniper here. Let's see how York
What's
responds.
his other card in hand?
He has a captivating cave, which he probably wants to keep the discard to the fence.
Yeah, interesting. I thought he might just swing there and just loot that,
All
but
right. Well, there's the
York's gonna run out the
companion.
companion.
No, not quite the
He does.
companions we've come to know, but I'll do the trick right now.
Yeah, he
It's
could play Abuelo, but it looks like he wants to crack the map on it. He did draw
mm,
Tectonic Hazard for turn.
seems
That's not looking
safer
too good
to
on the
just play a second creature here, especially when you're at
Yeah.
5, facing down 2 creatures, both of which are larger than your 2/1. Poetic Ingenuity. That's a fun one. Not really doing anything right now, but I think he's just gonna dump some counters on this and just force him to. Well, it's not a forced chump block, but it will be next turn.
Guess he's gonna chump this turn.
I Yeah, I don't know about that because next turn you can blink something with Abuelo and block, but
Yeah.
all right, here comes just another body here to fill up the space.
Another land, so I guess you
I guess he's gonna
crack
start
the map
discovering
on
here.
Abuelo.
This is. Oh no, he can't discover yet with his lands, but
Yeah, I think he'd rather discover this turn. He might put the counters, but I think it might have been better to
well he can't.
discover
Yeah.
on the 2/2 and then save up the mana to blink the 1/2.
All right, we'll put some counters on it. Maybe do a double block here.
But then you lose Abuelo then, right?
Well, I don't think he's chumping with a 3/4. Oh, here comes the menace land to be a menace. He can drop this plains, and he said his deck was very janky, but we're seeing it work pretty nice here. We're seeing it just perform like a kind of like just like a red white deck.
Yeah.
That's
I think
what
York forgot the land had menace.
yeah, so he's gonna block the menace here, get it off the board, and then hope to deal with the with this. But Steve has drawn another interesting card, Key to the City, which is just a win. It just wins the game next turn. It's
Unblockable, right?
tap, discard a card. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. Then whenever it becomes untapped, so usually at your untapped step, you can pay 2 and draw a card.
Yeah, that's gonna wrap this game up.
So
This
he found the key.
too bad he couldn't get the Tidebinder sooner, huh?
Yeah, well,
Tidebinder
Tidebinder,
key.
yeah, Tidebinder. That was open to him, opened for him by Jordan earlier today after he beat him with a Tidebinder. He said, "Here, you can have one too. I'll be generous." Yeah, so Key to the City is going to end this on the spot. So he got him down low, and he found a way to get through for the last little bits of damage here. He's going to
Yeah,
discard the
even though
Poetic
Steve's deck
Ingenuity,
is
and
kind of janky, I feel like it runs pretty well as we just saw this game. I did some practice matches versus it, and I was like, for something you call jank, this feels pretty well oiled.
this functioned like a red white deck, even though I think there's some other stuff going on, like Bringer of the Last Gift, Spectre of Mortality, which was that double black
Yes.
creature from Glow, exile creature from your graveyard to minus everything. Um, I mean, it's a little crazy to put those in an otherwise red white deck, but he's playing a few other black cards. He is playing that Etherflux Reservoir. He I don't he's got 2 3-fold threefold Thunder Hulks as well. So pretty nice top end. He's got some cool rares here. Atsushi, the red dragon from Kamigawa, and a few others.
Yeah, I think he said the Aether Flux just there as a meme. He was like, I don't really think it's good in my deck, and it probably makes it worse. But I mean, like, how many chances am I gonna get to play it? So props to him for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. If this was a thread we're discussing on Discord, I would have put the Randy Jackson meme of yeah, that's a no from me, dog, for that card. Um, I it's one of those cards I just file into a category of there's maybe some small percentage of the time where it would actually be good, but it's small enough that I'm not willing to ever put it in a deck. I'll just write it off as a zero for me. Uh, you know, it's not going to be good often enough to make up for how bad it is. But look, if he's on 9 losses, he's getting towards the end of the league. If he wants to play and have fun, we're here for it. Especially if he gets to do something within the feature match, that'll be a memorable moment for sure. So
Hear you.
let's see if he has the time, space, and ability to make that card be impressive here.
Wow, I am disgusted. I see a Zoetic Glyph in York sideboard. What is going on? I guess he just doesn't like it. That's fine.
He makes a lot of artifacts. Like he's playing Cartographer's Companion for which is a card that I think most people are probably off of by this point in the league. He's playing that. I mean, that it's like just that makes 2 artifacts. Yeah, so what a glyph. Maybe he hasn't.
Maybe just
Maybe he
filter
hasn't
down enough
seen
bit.
it. Maybe he hasn't seen it be good. Hasn't heard people speak highly of it. It just looks a little. This looks a little situational. But no, that card. As long as you have enough artifacts, which I'm pretty sure he does. Like we've seen his
I'm
decks.
counting 11. I'm pretty sure you could squeeze more in there if you wanted to.
Well, there's also cards that make artifacts too, right? Like Water
I
Wind
counted those
Scout and
also.
whatnot. Okay, that's not an insanely high number, but it's probably high enough to warrant it. Well,
If it's not a style, it's not a style. I
he
get
has
it.
his reasons, all right, and he's doing well. So
This hand looks pretty good, though. We got a mountain, an island, a captain storm to like follow that up.
okay.
And then he's got the scout, a shock, a scallywag, a charter course, and he just drew another island. So
Yeah, looks like he's in business here. We got 2 scallywags over here. We've got a Vito's Inquisitor that is uncastable at this point with no black mana. He's got one of his 7-drop Thunderhulks, and he's got the Oltec Archaeologist, the 5-drop in white. So
yeah, York might just be able to aggro him out.
yeah, this is a little too strong of a start here. He's drawn a Roaming Throne, which is also a fun one, but
Roman Throne is great.
without much else going on, he can play his Plundering Pirate now, which is okay. But if York has another artifact, there's big trouble coming.
Yeah, he'll have to draw it. I think York might just shock it. Well, as we said, that he just got Kite Sail Larcenist, but I think he'll just shock the 3/2, swing, and then chart a course, or else play the Scallywag. He's got options.
Yeah, Shock has been looking good here.
I don't
Like
know if I do this.
he has it in his deck, and every time I see it, I'm like, yeah, it's really actually doing a lot of work.
I guess he wants to Larcenist now. I guess just get more power on board.
Yeah, there's not really like a great target, but I guess if he's planning on racing, he just said, well, I'll just kill both of his creatures and put him on the real back foot here.
Yeah, I understand it. I get it.
You have a chance to kill 2 things, even if both of them are somewhat inconsequential. Like it's a 2/2, it's a 3/2 that already did what it was supposed to do, and it's a 2/2 that may do something each turn, may not. Um, he is gonna get the treasure back here because he did sack a treasure, but it was not a token. It was a
Oh,
it was his scallywag. The scallywag rescued the other scallywag by killing him.
here comes the companion.
All right, well here comes 2 counters.
Yeah, looks like he's going to put both on the Larcenist.
Yeah, he's just gonna go for it here. He says, "Look, he's at 12. This is a clock. He's dead next turn if he doesn't have anything." And as those who are watching Steve's side of it, we see that he has nothing. So he's
All right.
got on a 2-turn clock here. Just this crazy aggressive beginning here.
York is putting all the eggs into the Larcenist
I
basket.
think he's trying to put it out of range of burn.
Fair. So this is 2-turn clock. Does
Yeah.
Steve have?
He's just dead. He needs a removal here, or something to block. And Plundering Pirate ain't gonna do it.
He's going to plunder his way back to sideboarding.
Yeah, he can play Roaming Throne or Altec Archaeologist, but they're just 4/4s with no relevant text at this time. And York gets his aggro start. This is like a draft. Like this was like something you would do in draft, right? Like you would have this start where he's like using all his mana, he's triggering all his stuff, he's killing opponents' creatures for 1 mana. Like just super efficient, no mana put to waste. Steve didn't do anything wrong, but he didn't interact, and nor did he really put out enough threats to
Yeah, I mean,
Steve
like
in his favor.
when you play your opponent plays a 2/2, you play a 2/2. Your opponent's 2/2 becomes a 3/3, but he also gets a flyer. It does not feel good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Kitesail Larson is just an absurd rate for a card. Like, just very, very strong.
Yeah. York just decided to, hey, you know what? I really like the way that game played. If we can do that one more time, I'm good with it. So he just decided to skip the sideboarding process.
Steve did not like the way that game played, so he's at least looking to bring in a Rumbling Rock Slide.
I
And
figure more removal, lower the curve a bit.
take out a greedy freebooter, which on a splash is not really like black is his. We'll say splash. I mean, he has two double black cards, but they're ultra late game cards, so it's
Here's the
more
real
reasonable.
question:
But greedy
Did he
freebooter on a splash is not really where you want to be.
did he keep in the reservoir?
Oh yeah,
Oh, true to the heart.
like why would he? Why would he do that to us? Why would he deny us of the possibility of being able to get that done?
Well, lucky for
So
him, this is a lot slower. It's 2 islands, a mountain, an unsummon, a knot, a scout, and a braid, and a hammer.
okay, so not the greatest hand here for Steve. He's got a plane cycler to get him his white source to start casting spells next turn. He's got Vanguard of the Rose, which is the 2 mana 3/1. Well, it looks like he's not going to land cycle; he's just going to regular cycle. Uh, he's got the Vanguard of the Rose, the 3/1 sack outlet, Mischievous Pup, Vito's Inquisitor, Soaring Sandwing, a mountain, and Inti, the I'll say Senescal of the Sun. We'll just call it Inti. Great card though, really really great card.
Well, I guess it's going to change the way Steve plays. They both have access to this knowledge that the Dragon's Fire's on top.
Yeah, Inti is going to be tucked safely in the hand for the time being, I think, until that's been deployed. And if I'm York, I'm kind of tempted to just do it on the Vanguard now before it can get indestructible and get value of some
I
kind.
don't. I'm not
It's
even sure you
tempting,
really care, to be honest, because York has 2 scouts in the hand that are giving him value. He
right?
has a Nautilus that literally can just wall the thing off.
Yeah, that
Now,
works too.
granted,
That works too.
yeah. Now, granted, though, if Steve goes into and then swings, that makes it a little more interesting. But even then, you're probably fine trading it
Ooh,
off.
we got the Aether Flux Reservoir. Let's go. It's time. It's time to impress me. He's waving it
Oh.
around to make sure I see it, or whoever's watching sees it.
Now, I'm curious what York does here. He does have unsummon, so I'm not sure if he cares about the 4 damage or if he's going to unsummon and then kill Inti.
I mean, we've seen he does in sort of past games. He does want to keep his life total high. Like a lot of people will take more damage than he seems to be willing to take in a lot of these games.
I mean, I think you'd probably unsummon the thing regardless. Like, I'm not sure how much he cares about it. Like, his scout does wall it pretty well, and Steve would have to give up resources to keep that kind of pressure going.
I will say I'm a little surprised he played the Inti into the face-up removal, considering
Yeah.
how kind of premium of a card it is.
What other option do you have, though?
He actually didn't have really another great play. He could have plane cycled, I suppose.
Okay, yeah.
But without a 4th mana, he can't. He has Roaming Throne. Now he has his 4th mana here, and I don't know if he can afford to put out an Aetherflux Reservoir.
He really can't because York has the
He
blade.
immediately grabbed it and started to drag it, and then he was like, "Wait, maybe I should actually try and actually get somewhere in this game."
Yeah, if York can get a land for a draw here, he can just blow up the throne with the
Interesting to
blade.
see what he names. That will be telling for what's going to come next, because there's nothing in his hand that really has an ability. Looks like he's going to name Dinosaur. So
Oh,
I guess when his Soaring Sandwing eventually comes in, it'll gain double the life.
I like this from York. This is what I was thinking of. You just swing the knot if it's a trade. My 2 drop
Like
for your
it.
4 drop. I don't think Steve is taking that deal. And then now you can just play the scout and hopefully hit another source of mana so he can have a braid, preferably even white. Gives them 2 ways to kill artifacts with the hammer also. That's perfect.
Okay, I guess that's what he was after. Here comes the Spectre of Mortality. He's a little far away from it without even a swamp in play. And here comes the Reservoir. Let's see. I know
So
York has defended this card in the past, having played it in draft and saying it gives you a nice life bump, but
I'm
No,
not sure how much he cares about it. So he
well,
can abrade this turn, develop the Schooner or Surveyor next turn. He has a few ways to tackle this. And he
yeah,
still has the hammer to get rid of the reservoir at any point he wants.
yeah. Also, he's just clocking him for 4 and potentially more next
Yeah.
turn. Steve actually doesn't really have a coherent play here. I mean, he could plane cycle and then replay the Vanguard of the Rose that we know is in his hand. And he could sack the Aetherflux Reservoir to give his creature indestructible, which would be the best use of the card I've seen to date. All right,
So let's see
well,
what York wants to do on his turn.
here is one life. Look at that.
So I'm curious if York just develops the Surveyor and then plays the hammer. I'm not sure he really needs the Schooner anytime soon.
Yeah, we'll see how he plays it here. The Schooner is pretty good, and for 2 mana, you can probably slot it in here.
I just feel like at this point in the game, he can just kill his opponent. Like, look, he wants to play the hammer.
That is a thing that you can do. Kill the opponent is a viable option. I will not deny anybody the right to do that.
And all of his creatures attack pretty well. I can't see a world where, I mean, I guess Steve could probably just not block.
He could sack, like I said, he could sack the reservoir for indestructible. You know, gotta do what you gotta do.
Interesting. I guess we're playing the Schooner this turn then. No, we're just at we're killing it. Okay, all right. York says, "Hey, you know what? No idea what's going on over there. Don't want to find out.
You know what? That's
I'm
a
good.
win. That's a win.
I'm good."
That I'm ecstatic if my I mean I'm not ecstatic to have Aetherflux Reservoir in play, but if my opponent uses a card to kill it, I'm like I feel like I almost tricked them.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he would blow it up so soon.
Yeah, like I said, I've given York a bit of grief in the past for running it a couple times, and he stands by it. Yeah, I respect his viewpoint. So what is this? This demolition field, which is from I think
Blows up
Brothers
land.
War. So he is getting his swamp to try and set up a Specter of Mortality, but I'm not sure how many creatures are in his graveyard to make that work.
We got the 3-1. Has he played any other creature? Yes.
I
Was
can't
Inti
imagine there's I
exiled?
can't imagine there's 4 creatures in his graveyard. I mean, there was Inti that died. There was I think he discarded the pup. Maybe there's 4. Yeah, could be. The roaming throne is in there as well. So it looks. I think he may be able to do it next turn. He's got the swamp now, so with 6 mana with the captivating cave, he can do it. All right, he's looking now. One, yeah. There's exactly 4 or 5 now.
Oh.
5.
So it looks like York wants to swing in for 5 here. I like it. I like it. Probably play the Schooner, play his land,
Yeah,
and then set up
the schooner
Surveyor for
actually
next
get
turn.
the schooner is actually going to get around this, and also now he's played into the flick a coin, which he saw last game. So
Oh. Oh.
cute little maneuvering there to be able to actually kill that Nautilus with a flick a coin.
Now Steve is getting closer to that what's that 8-drop demon that blows up the board and brings everything back from the graveyard?
He's still pretty far from it. Um,
Okay. 2,
so
4,
the
6,
Spectre of
7.
Mortality is actually not going to be effective here, because it doesn't hit the vehicle and it doesn't block the vehicle either. So it would only be to kill this 1/2, which obviously is not where it's at. So okay, I think looks like he's just says maybe I'll deny your ability to crew. Yeah.
Well, does he have anything better in hand? And I agree with that.
I mean, he could have played Vito's Inquisitor and the Vanguard of the Rose, like 2 bodies, like a 3/3 and a
Okay.
3/1, rather than a 3/3 that kills a 1/2. Like between the 3 cards in York's hand and a Discover land, chances are he's going to find something to crew. Like
Well,
it's
York found his
really
cap.
it's really unlikely that he wouldn't be able to find something to crew between 3 cards in hand and an extra look. So not sure how great that play was. He could have just played some creatures that were like a 3/3 and a 3/1.
Yeah.
Because now he's getting attacked, and he did so with the knowledge that any
Oh.
crewmate will attack it, and
Oh.
that shock
He's
is
binning the shot. He's
mm,
binning it.
well, it doesn't kill the creature in play, so he says Let me just put in the graveyard.
I don't know, man, because you have a spin of your wheels, right, on land. And then you still
Yeah.
have shock available, and he also has whirlpool in hand.
Oh, I like keeping it, but he's looking for something better.
Yeah, maybe he wants a planeswalker. He just wants to show Steve what his deck's really capable of.
Yeah, he wants that. He wants that Chandra for style points. I mean, like we can't have a York match in the feature match without Chandra getting cast. Like none of his planeswalkers. We haven't seen any of this match. What a shame.
This is what
Uh,
I thought Steve might do. Put
yeah,
all of his the counters in the 5/5, but
yeah, and he gets a
yours
little
just
and he gets a little treasure left behind now, so it's not without a small reward for his work here.
that.
Can
So we
York
have
can York get rid of the
a
5/5? You said Whirlpool, right?
oh yeah, it's going straight to the abyss.
Yeah,
Never to be
that's
seen
trouble
again.
now because now there's a chump block here coming, and he needs something real fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nowhere near demon mana, so that's not on the table. Yeah, and
And
another
there's another
whirlpool on
whirlpool on
top.
top of
That might
that.
that might get Steve to pack it in here potentially. Uh,
Yeah, I think if Chris would have kept the shot, that would have just been game. He would have shot and then whirlpooled. It's probably going to be game regardless.
yeah, he can play 2 creatures here, but I think he sees the writing on the wall for the most part.
Is there a way he can cheat this demon out? Can he find the demon?
No, he's got nothing. He's just got dorks here.
Find the line, Richard. Find the line.
Cheating. Cheating is the one, which can't really do in arena.
I guess Steve is just going to say, hopefully he doesn't see the line.
I mean, he's not strictly dead. If he does have anything to crew the vehicle, then he is very very dead. Whirlpool on top. Obviously, we know that's coming. So Steve knew it. He knew it all along. All right. York has been he's been on a tear. He's taken the hard road here with just all premium opponents this week, all in a row too. Like starting from like about 4 this afternoon till now, just nonstop nonstop action. But ends the week 4-1. So nice, I believe 13-7 record here for York. Poised to make a top 8 run. It's been too long. So congratulations to York for winning both of his matches here, and we'll see everybody next week.